Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
It is Coffee and time for another week here on ON Radio on this Monday morning, October the 20th. Thanks for joining us. Hi there, I'm Joe Callahan. We'll say good morning to Dave Richards, who's
And
with
I'm
us as
not.
well. And there he is right over there. And his fabulous National Marine Sanctuaries, NOAA, whale t-shirt.
Got a lot of friends there, and
Yeah, that's cool.
Those poor slobs are sitting at home, not getting paid.
No, were they furloughed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When I was working with them, Joe,
Yeah.
some years ago, I went through 3 government shutdowns.
Wow.
Only one of them happened, of course. The others were just threats.
Okay.
And it's a rotten thing that happens with those shutdowns because all your productivity, now you're responsible for getting out a certain body of work, but all your productivity is gone because the week before a possible shutdown, the orders come down to start securing the place and make plans for everything stopping.
Sure.
And so there's a lot more work to do while you're still trying to get out your regular work.
So
And
double
then-
it up before we
and
close.
then the order comes down, and if you're a federal I was a contractor and then an employee, but then the order comes down. They say it's like this: you shall not enter the premises
Yeah.
during the shutdown. If you do, you will be trespassing, and by order of the president, be arrested. And so, okay.
All right.
But you have all this stuff going on that and then in those times there wasn't much doubt that we were going to get paid eventually.
Right.
So if you had a little nest egg at the time, I didn't have to worry about the refrigerator breaking. I had enough money in the bank. You could just go to the bank and take care of any little household emergency. But it was just so long it was going to work, going to last. So anyway, and then you end up getting paid all of it afterwards. It's not a good thing for anybody because all anybody wants to do is to, and I worked with so many wonderful people that were federal employees. All they want to do is they just want to do their work.
Yeah.
And not have any. And then when something
no
political
stoppage.
like this comes along,
When it's out of there.
you say, geez,
Power.
it's a great country if you could just remove the politics. And it doesn't change anybody's opinion of how wonderful the country is. It's just baloney and like that. But, Joe, I heard something over the weekend from one of my friends. They are feeling expectant. They think they know how long the shutdown is going to last.
Okay.
And there's some real logic to this that I'll repeat for
Like a
you if
little
you want. 'cause
inside
it
information?
Didn't swear me to secrecy because this was just a couple of folks talking. This was nothing that came down from the upper office.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be too concerned about the federal shutdown lasting forever.
Mm-hmm.
It won't, because we know what's going to stop the federal shutdown. And it's only a few weeks away.
Is this the SNAP benefits thing?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Oh, you think they care? Nah, you kidding me?
Well, what's going to stop it?
No. This is what they care about. Thanksgiving travel.
Oh, they've already brought that up about air traffic controllers and say, hey, we can't.
Thanksgiving travel.
We can't fool with that.
Yeah. That's just like saying, oh, I think we're going to cut everybody's Social Security benefits. No. It doesn't fly across the aisle.
Yeah.
It doesn't fly across the room. So, no, it's that don't worry about it as the Thanksgiving holiday approaches. And so many, it's the biggest travel days.
Weekend,
in
yeah.
any calendar year, traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And, but as that approaches, you think, you think maybe the senators and the representatives want to get home for Thanksgiving? You think
Sure.
you think those mucky mucks there in Congress want to be playing like trains, boats, and planes and stuff like that, and trying everything they can to get back home?
Well, like Sheldon Whitehouse and Jack Reed and Gabe Amo, they can all hop on Amtrak and get here in a couple of hours. But if you're out in California,
But
that's
if
a long
everyone
train
else
ride.
took the seats, they can't.
Well, they could stand, couldn't they?
No, there's no standing
No.
in Amtrak.
No,
There's
Nope.
no standing on Amtrak.
I didn't know that. I don't
No.
take Amtrak.
That's the voice of Melissa Murray.
I'm Melissa. I
There's
look
no
at
crying in baseball.
I just look at the T. And there's always standing on the T.
Yeah,
So-
it's short duration.
But that's a commuter
Good morning,
rail.
everyone.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's
Okay.
that's a short distance commuter rail.
And Dave had the story this morning. The shutdown of the federal government. It's stopping the replacements of the Bourne Bridge and the Sagamore Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, fun people. Well, just take the tunnel. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, right.
That's a
Not
lot of money.
everybody thinks like you,
I
Joe.
know. That's a lot of money for those bridges, by the way. Yikes.
It is.
$350 million
Well,
for
they're-
the Sagamore, $250 million for the Bourne. Yikes.
And stop and think about that. Somebody says, "Well, everybody goes to the federal government for money. It's the state of Massachusetts should do all that." And I said to myself, "Who do you think made the bridges necessary? The federal
feds,
government
yeah.
when they dug the stinking canal. All those bridges do is get
There
you
is no-
over the canal that the feds made."
That wasn't always there?
Do we have Dan on the line?
We do.
Oh, great. All right. Telephone
Great.
time. Hang on.
I was hoping Dan would call in today because I have questions about tonight's Woonsocket City Council meeting, which you'll hear here on ON, AM, and FM radio.
Good morning, Dan Gendron.
Good morning, Joe.
And Dave and Melissa. Say hi to Dave and Melissa.
Oh, good morning, Dave. Good morning,
Well, he
Melissa.
doesn't have to. He's the
Good
president.
morning.
Sorry, I had
President.
there was a delay there. I apologize.
Oh, all right, all right. So
He could say hi if he wants, and not hi if he wants. I mean, he's the president of the council, right?
that's so true. So Woonsocket
But I
City.
just want to, before we get into the city council, I just want to say, last week I was in a family vacation. We were in Florida, and I was thinking, we flew down. It took 2.5 hours, but if we had taken Amtrak, we could have stood on the Amtrak train, according to Joe, and just held that strap
That's right. What's the
7
problem?
hours right to Orlando, right?
No big deal.
Oh, no.
What's the
Yeah.
problem?
Oh,
What's
no.
the problem?
Dan, because I have family that lives near Orlando, I took the train from Rhode
Did you
Island
stand?
to Orlando and back one time because everybody said, "Oh, train travel is so wonderful." And I would still take it any day as far as Washington, D.C. But
After
south
that-
of Washington, D.C., the tracks don't belong to Amtrak. They belong to the freight companies.
Oh.
And they're not in the same repair. The ride is not the same. And you have to pull off to a siding anytime a
The freight
a freight
was
train
going
is
by?
coming.
All right.
And you sit there, sometimes for an hour or more. 25 hours to Orlando from Providence.
Standing
thank you.
the entire time. It's unbelievable.
Ending, yes.
All right, we got a Woonsocket City Council meeting tonight, and I heard the report this morning, Dan. So if you just go a little more detail, what does Rhode Island Dolls want, and what does Little Lena's want?
So they are both looking to extend their licenses from the current 1 a.m. to a 2 a.m. license. And if those of you that have been following it, Melissa, you've been party of that. For many years, the only 2 o'clock license we had in Woonsocket that was left was for the bowling alley, and they that lapsed a few years ago. So right now, there's nobody in the city that has a 2 a.m. license, and
But times
I
change,
don't-
Dan. Times change.
yeah, but you know what I'm finding? To tell you the truth, I've talked to people who say times have changed, and they're telling me that the nightlife has actually gotten earlier. So people tend to go out a little earlier. Back when I was young, you just went out at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And it started now. Some of these very successful restaurants and nightclubs and stuff, they start much earlier than they used to when I was younger. So,
Well, that's because today's young people are older than they used to be.
well, that's a good point.
But might I submit that people are working longer these days to make ends meet and perhaps don't get to the reveling until later in the day.
That's possible.
Or they might say to themselves, well, it's all over by 1 o'clock. It's hardly worth going out at 11.
Are these two establishments, Dan, do they give you a reason of why other than we just want it?
Not on the application that we've got. I don't know if
There's
there'll
no
be
blank
anyone
for
there to. Right. It's usually done in testimony, or we may find out the clerk may have some information, but nothing that I know of just yet.
So we'll have to listen into the public hearing tonight.
Yes.
Now,
It'll be the first thing, so you don't have to wait long to hear it.
Do you think there's a concern that if this passes for these two establishments, others will come out of the woodwork and say, well, we want it too?
Well, I think that's a strong possibility, because once what can happen, and we used to see it with the bowling alley, is that people would tell us that they were leaving other clubs instead of staying till 1 o'clock, they would leave at 12 o'clock to get to the bar, to the bowling alley,
and continue drinking,
and be able to have enough time, because they didn't want to walk into the bowling alley at 12:30 and at 1:30.
Yeah.
So they would end up leaving the other establishments early. So there is a possibility of some competition withdrawal if it goes the wrong way.
I see.
I always saw this as kind of there was an undercurrent of temperance in the discussion, Dan. My personal opinion is, I'm sleeping then. I don't care what you're doing. You want to drink till 2? Want to drink till 3? I don't care. That wouldn't be my vote. I'd just say, hey, okay, fine. A business person won't ask for the licensing and go through all the baloney of bringing it up for discussion unless they felt it was good for business. And if they feel it's good for business, fine. Just like the discussions, Dan, of the storage units. I said,
yes.
I laugh at people who say, too many self-storage units in the city. Believe me, as soon as there's too many self-storage units in the city, they'll stop building them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how many video stores do you see out there now? There's just no need for them, right? Business people are not morons. If there's a need, they'll fill the need as long as they're permitted to. And if there's no need, they ain't gonna do it.
Dan, have you heard from police on their opinions on moving on the 2 a.m. licenses?
Nothing officially, but
maybe tonight.
I have spoken off record with people, and they are concerned of starting a new trend.
Yeah.
Because in their opinion, and it's a good point, is that that's one extra hour of drinking. That they were citing some statistics that people who might leave a bar at under the legal limit and are okay to drive home at 12:30, by 1:30 if they have another drink or two, it's just another possibility. But there's, that'll be a good discussion for this evening. I'm sure that the police, public safety, will weigh in on their opinion, and we'll see. But there is that approach too, Dave, that if there's no negative impact, then it's why not allow it to go through? So
you can always rationalize a negative impact. Conversely,
yes.
You can always rationalize a positive impact, and that's why you guys are elected to make the decision.
Is this a possibility, Dan, that you can stay open till 2 in the morning if you like, but alcohol sales stop at 1?
I don't know if that would be something that could be monitored, or because that would require police actually going into an establishment. Listen, you've seen it recently. We've had show cause hearings with people who have a 1 a.m. license and they're still serving at 1:30.
Well, right.
And so they, to say that they're going to stay open till 2. I will tell you this though. Contrary to what Dave, you've got a different view on this, but the citizens that have talked to me since the agenda came out, I've not had a single citizen who's interested in a 2 a.m. license, because a lot of those people live in the neighborhoods of some of these establishments, and so they're talking to me about the impact to their life because they are trying to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. So
That's a good point. That's a good point, Dan. I don't live in any of those places.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And nor do I, and that's why it's good when people talk to us, but I haven't heard from anyone yet, and usually that's the case. Most people who talk to you about things are against it because they don't want it to happen, but nobody has come out yet except for you, Dave, so I've got a hatch mark on the positive side with you.
One. All right.
I concur with Dave, actually.
Oh, there's two. Okay.
Okay, two.
Well, I believe in don't make a rule if you don't have to make a rule, or don't take away someone's privileges unless it's really important for the public good, and I didn't see any public harm in it. Because I can see public harm in serving liquor to people who have to drive home. I can rationalize that could be something wrong, but we're way past putting that genie back in the bottle. So
yes, we are.
To me, 1 hour didn't make much difference to me.
What else is on the agenda tonight, Dan?
If I can, I just want to say one thing. I heard an interesting story just to end with this, but there's a huge shift in the entertainment industry as far as resorts and whatnot. I'm not talking nightclubs. I'm talking vacation resorts and everything. And they are shifting, and they're seeing a major desire and a shift to getting away from alcohol.
Yeah.
And a number of these resorts now, they're finding ways to bring in the same revenue, but there's less interest in the alcohol. So they're doing these exotic drinks that are all non-alcohol, but have that same tropical flair and whatnot. So it's interesting that and they did say that some of this is because of other material that's available, and people are shifting away from alcohol and going with other other products for their enjoyment. But it is a definite, and I saw that we were at a vacation club, and they had a thing about that specifically, that they're trying to shift to non-alcoholic partying, if you will, because that's what the public's looking for. So we may see this shift change naturally on its own. Who knows?
Okay.
Coffee shops aren't open till 4 in the morning anymore. That used to be the case. There used to be Dunkin' Donuts was 24 hours. You don't see that anymore.
No. Okay.
So the other thing I just we jumped right into that, but one thing I want to leave everyone with is, if you look at, it's a fairly light agenda, but if you look at the resolutions tonight, there's
a lot of finance stuff going on there. What's behind all that?
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. You
Looks
know what
like
that
you're setting yourself up for a change in the workflow in City Hall.
You are absolutely right, and that is, from what I've seen, it's the result of the new finance director, Mr. Jim Lathrop, who he came in and said he was going to resurrect and fix the Woonsocket Municipal Finance Department. And when you see this, there's we're changing. He's bringing in a municipal finance advisory service. He wants to have policies for the fund balances and the debt service policies. We're going to a different bank for general banking. Well, it's just going to, we used to have Citizens, then they went to, I forget what the other one, but this now is going to be a switch to Centerville Bank. And that's for,
which
the
is
general
a domestic
fund.
institution.
Correct. Yes, it is. So it's interesting, but Dave, you hit it right on the head that there's 4 of the 7 resolutions are finance related, and I speak to Jim frequently, and he's constantly trying to reinvent and repurpose what the finance department is, and I think tonight is an example of that.
Do you detect that there's support amongst the other members of the council in this? I'm not asking you to predict the vote. Do you detect that there's support on this whole idea?
I think I haven't really talked to them about it, but I do believe that everyone has known that Woonsocket's finance department needed attention, and I think they'll be supportive of it just because it seems like we have somebody that's trying to right some wrongs and maybe just make our ship float a little bit steadier.
Well, God bless you in your decisions tonight. I hope everything works out. Was there anything else we needed to know?
No, I think, we're buying road salt, so that means that
winter's
miserable
coming.
time of year is coming.
Oh, yeah. You gotta.
That's right.
Yes, we do.
All right.
No, that's it, and I thank you for, I apologize, I've missed a few call-ins because of the way work has been.
Well, we understand how business you are. Right.
Yeah, so
we get it.
So thank you for taking my call today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thanks
All
for
right.
calling
Well.
in.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
All right,
Woonsocket
bye-bye.
City Council President Dan Genion here. The meeting tonight live on ONAM and FM radio at 7 p.m.
Time for a break here on the Coffee and program. We got a note to get to, a question for Melissa. Lucky you. Coming
boy.
up when we come back here on the Coffee and program.
Join the Coffee and Panel weekday mornings at 8 on ON Radio.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON AM and FM.
That's us, and it's Coffee and on this wet, rainy Monday morning, October the 20th. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and note called in 766-1240. This note actually came in very late Friday, so we didn't get to it last Friday morning, but we get to it now. So for Melissa, can you please ask Melissa this question? It was reported that there are 12 states that provide health benefits to illegal immigrants, and Rhode Island was on the list. Is that true? And if we were to cut them off from the program, how much would that save in the state budget?
Okay,
Go.
so short answer.
Yes.
Some immigrants in Rhode Island can receive state benefits, including undocumented immigrants. The eligibility depends upon their immigration status and a specific program, but primarily those undocumented, actually wholly those undocumented are children. So if you are a refugee and you're come here lawfully, so if you are a lawful or refugee seeking immigrant, you can apply for some cash assistance, but you have to couple that with like work readiness and, to get you into a job. You're not eligible for any federal funds, and that's not a Trump thing. That was for as long as I can remember. If you are basically, Rhode Island provides state-funded health coverage for children, regardless of immigration status.
Okay.
So it's kids. And I don't have the specific numbers, and I apologize. But when we last met on this, which was still during session, it was probably in May, there was consideration of cutting that program. And I will tell you that I don't think it's a huge amount of money, but percentage-wise, most of the spending in that program, it's called Cover All Kids because it's thought, all kids deserve to have health care regardless of immigration status because it's not something that the children can control. A majority of that coverage of health care goes to a very small percentage of those children, and those children are either like super high medically fragile children or they have cancer. So there was talk of cutting that program, and that these children can just be taken to like local behavioral and local health centers like Thunder Mist. Do you want to take your child with cancer to to Thundermist instead of getting,
Well, no.
right? So, like, yeah, these are kids, but no, like, undocumented, illegal immigrants don't qualify for health
Okay.
coverage.
However, though, if you're an illegal immigrant, and I don't know, you break your arm, and you show up at Rhode Island Hospital, they're going to take care of you.
Yeah, that's called uncompensated care, right? Because you're going to get a bill. Yeah, they're going to take care of you. That's
Because they have to.
Yeah. Doctors take an oath to,
And
do
so,
no
but-
harm. They can't not take care of you. But then that's uncompensated care, which we pay for. It's not through the state,
I
but
see.
there is an argument to be made that if we extended health care coverage to more people, the rates would be overall lower. It's just like the insurance thing, right? It's just like the driver's license thing. Like, look, you allow people to have driver's licenses. They're going to have to register the car, take a driving test.
Well, they're supposed to.
We're supposed to, right? But allowing that to happen legally would bring everybody's overall rates down. So, but what you're talking about primarily here is children.
Okay. Now, Melissa knows this, and it was a few weeks ago that I had to spend some time in an emergency room. And when they came walking over and said, well, okay, who's paying for this? While I'm laying there.
Yeah.
And I actually, for a moment, I just thought of going, Kay? I was just going to try to pretend not to speak English. And so maybe I can get away
I
with
don't
this.
think you'd be able to get away with that after
That didn't
being
work.
there for a while. But
that didn't work. So
no,
anyway.
I mean, they still have your address. Like, you're still going to get
Oh,
the
I
bill. If you
know.
didn't have the $100, or I think for me it's like $150 copay,
We're going to mail it to you.
they're still going to bill you.
Yeah, that's
right. And the good thing is now that it can't affect your credit score,
well,
but you
great.
still have to pay.
Still going to pay it, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. Did you participate at all in the No Kings protest over the weekend, Melissa?
I sure did.
Did you go down to the State House?
Yeah, I went down to the State House.
Okay.
30,000 plus people. It was a lot of folks.
All right. I want to play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think you accomplished? Not you, the group.
The group?
Yeah.
Well, I certainly think that of the many millions that have attended these protests on Saturday, it certainly rattled some cages, so to speak.
You really think so?
I do. The president
I don't know.
was dropping AI created
Yeah, and it's Truth
images.
Social and on X.
Yeah. Like, you know what? I don't understand why everybody's so angry about protesting. Like, everyone has a right to protest, right? Every single person does. And if someone wants to go out and do it, then
Seems
okay.
Like you ruined
I mean,
a perfectly good Saturday, but
yeah. But I mean, that's somebody's choice. Like, I
guess so.
I don't understand the anger and the gnashing of teeth and like, okay, then don't go. I mean, like, if you want to get angry about people in a frog suit, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. But the one thing I did see, and you just don't know who's telling the truth. All right? And it's from people were complaining about the lovely mainstream media that Dave's always very proud of, right, Dave? And they were complaining about MSNBC, and they were showing a picture of the Boston Common, saying, "And here's the No Kings protest," and then people were saying that picture was taken in 2017. On a completely different protest.
Can I just
And I'm
interrupt
thinking,
here for a minute?
hang on, just a minute, Dave. It's like, well, who is right? Is MSNBC right, or are these other people saying that picture was taken 8 years ago? Who's telling the truth?
You can't really
I
know
don't-
anymore.
I don't know.
Do you? You can't really
No.
know anymore.
Dave.
Who says MSNBC is mainstream media? Give
Oh,
me a
well,
break.
they
my
are.
gosh, they
Yes.
totally are.
Yes, they are,
Cable
Dave.
channel.
They totally
But they
are.
are. They're right up there with ABC and CBS and NBC.
Baloney.
Yes, they
They
are.
are.
Bull Loney.
But if they cover the entire United States, they're a cable TV channel that covers national news.
No.
And if you watch Fox News, you're going to get a different spin, right?
Maybe you are. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely are. I don't watch either. I can only
Now
tell
there's
you.
an intelligent person. I'm telling you.
I don't watch either. You know what? I used to be an MSNBC watcher. I will say, I used to watch MSNBC.
Well, that's because you went to the Kings thing.
every night. I have not done that. Oh my gosh. And I think
They're political organizations now. They're
over-
no longer news organizations.
Well,
they
Yeah.
are political organizations.
I haven't
On
watched
all
them
all sides.
in well over, it was probably more than a year, 2 years. I'm not sure how long, but I can tell you what I saw, and
right.
there were tens of thousands.
you were
of
at the
people.
State House,
so I
okay.
was there.
Who
yeah.
cares?
All right.
Right, but like, hey, why are you going to get mad about it? You know,
Right.
protesting
They're
is a
out there.
fundamental right that we
Getting-
have as Americans that many other countries do not have, and we are fortunate to have that.
You
And
know-
I will always defend someone else's right to protest, even if I don't agree with what they're protesting about.
Well, it worked
Now,
out.
As
there's
long as
an
it's
intelligent
peaceful.
person talking right here, Joe.
Well-
Not, you know.
I'm not
give
gonna like
me-
it, and I won't. If I don't
Hey,
like it, I
listen.
won't go.
Getting upset about people going out and protesting whatever they're unhappy about makes as much sense. Listen carefully. You can quote me on this. I'll take it to the grave.
I'll write it down.
Makes as much sense as complaining to people going to the beach on a nice Sunday afternoon.
It does.
It's because they want to do it. It
Yeah,
makes them
right.
feel good. And they have the spare time to do it, and they go and do it. God bless them. They didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, there were
Go.
no incidents, right?
Well, that's good.
Right.
There were some in other
There were
states, but not in ours. So
Well,
that's
I
good.
saw one.
That's
I saw one
because some people are
anti-protester.
creeps.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
right.
I'm sure
In
there's
any
more-
group, you got a couple of creeps.
So this it worked out well for me because in my town, which had one, there were a lot less cars on the road on Saturday and a lot less people at the grocery store.
Yeah,
All
right.
I had to
This is
spend
working
some
out
time.
well for me.
I had to spend some time up in Milford on Saturday on an errand, and yeah, they were all on the common.
Oh, well, okay.
God bless their pointy
Right.
little heads. If this is what you want, hey, celebrate America's freedoms by going out and expressing your thoughts. You may be full of baloney. You may be wrong. It doesn't matter. You have the right to go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Go do it. If you're doing it peacefully, go do it.
All right, break time once again here on the Coffee and program. It's time for the lovely forecast. Thanks for that lovely forecast, Dave.
You're welcome, Joe.
And it's brought to us by Positive Coaching
Getting lovelier
Alliance.
by the minute.
Rain today, heavy at times, patchy fog, high of 66, a southeast wind up to 35 miles per hour, and new rainfall amounts today of 1 to 2 inches possible. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 45. Tuesday's weather, sunshine and 64. Tuesday night, some rain is likely. Wednesday, rain even more likely with a high of 65 and winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour from the southwest. Thursday, mostly sunny and 59. Friday, sunshine and 57. Saturday, sunshine and 57 again. And on Sunday, looks like a mostly sunny day with a high near 57 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, it's raining, and we've got 65 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
October bargains of the month at Vo's True Value Hardware. What's happening in October? Preparing for the winter. Yes, 100-count mini LED light set if you want to light up the property. Or the Holiday Wonderland. Special, your choice, $8.99 or $17.99 for the box. Check your smoke detector if it needs to be changed. The First Alert 2-in-1 smoke and carbon monoxide alarm is just $34.99 at Vo's. Scotch double-sided mounting tape, the good stuff, $6.49 for a package. And tarps, $9.99 for your choice of brown or hunter green. Now let's talk about what happens with the animals when the weather gets colder. They all start looking for places to spend the winter. Well, you're going to need live catch and hold mouse traps if you don't want to kill them, and mouse shield foam sealant and blocker to keep your property safe from rodent infestation. At Vo's True Value Hardware Store, 849 Cumberland Hill Road, here in Woonsocket. Dean Bank has the checking account you need, combined with the personal service that's just not commonly found today. From free checking to one that offers free ATMs across the nation, we have the perfect account to fit your individual needs. Visit deanbank.com for complete details and to open an account online in just a few minutes. All access checking, free checking, money market accounts, and more at Dean Bank, where they want to be your bank. Dean Bank, member FDIC, member DIF.
All right, it's Coffee Ann here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray.
It's
and
raining.
Dave Richards.
It's
It is
pouring.
raining. Thanks,
Oh,
Dave.
it's raining cats
All
and
right.
dogs.
Last Friday, Melissa and I talked about this
Joe
last
looks
Friday.
dry, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I stayed out of the rain. Last Friday, another 4 kids were arrested at Woonsocket High School for fighting.
Yeah.
So, and now people are all,
Because it's still wrong.
What are we going to do about it, and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, when the first 12 were arrested, and we had the superintendent, and we had Paul Bourget, we had the mayor come out and said, this is a community problem. All right. I actually agreed with them then. I have shifted away from that. This is not a community problem anymore. This is their problem. And the way I look at it, now, Melissa, Dave, and me, you two live in the city. Okay. You're part of the community. Am I part of the community because I work here? Because I don't live here.
Yes.
Yes, I am part of the community?
Yes.
This is not my problem.
You take
There is
part.
just
You
this-
take part in Woonsocket's community
Okay,
activity.
but there's no way for me to fix this. I also think about Mildred, 85 years old at Kennedy Manor. Her kids have already gone through school. Her grandkids have already gone through school. This is not her problem either to fix. Just my thinking on that. Now, I also came up with Melissa. Now, to fix the problem, everything costs money, of which there is none.
Well, that's just politicians.
And then I thought,
They all say
what if we could we do this? The guy down in New York City, the head of the Guardian Angels, is running for mayor of New York City.
He started here in Woonsocket.
How do we get
Actually, Providence came to
Yeah.
Woonsocket.
How do
we
get the Guardian Angels volunteer group to start roaming the halls at Woonsocket High School? I did think of a way, by the way, Melissa, and I don't know who's going to be in charge of this.
We said no.
Well, now we got to do it. We need to go. We need to go to the local gyms, including Planet Fitness, and find out who's working out at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and if we can find 20 to 30 large gentlemen who are there,
Or ladies.
Okay, let's see how that works
you,
out.
Melissa.
And let's say we need you to work out can you work out from 7 to 8, and then we need you at the high school to restore law and order. Of course, we can't pay you. That's the real problem. But that's what we need. We need people we need
Well, we
adults
can give 'em a
roaming.
snappy-looking beret.
That's right.
That-
we just
that'll-
need them
that works
roaming.
for Sliwa.
We need them roaming the halls to keep order, and if a fight breaks out, that they can actually jump in and separate them.
That's one of the things too.
Yeah.
That's
Except the fights will be generated where they aren't.
well. That's why you got to
It's
have
kinda
that's why you got to have 20 or 30 of them in the halls all at the same time.
Ah,
You got to have a large group.
yeah. I'm trying to
No.
wait till he gets to the punchline of this joke.
No, there is no joke to this. This is what we
Oh,
need.
come on.
Look at the Guardian Angels rode the subways in New York City
Yep.
because the police couldn't be there all the time,
Right.
and crime went down. And I think the kids, by the way, are
Could have done
starting
the same thing with engaged citizens that wanted to get involved.
Yeah.
No, in New York City.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have enough engaged citizens at the high school. There's more kids than there are students.
Disagree there.
Well, like Melissa says,
You've just got rules saying you can't get involved.
Well,
in
should we
it.
change the rules?
There are
We've
rules
talked
saying that
about it.
teachers cannot get involved.
Well, let's
in
get them
certain
involved.
ways.
Yeah, it's a liability issue.
Right.
We've talked about a Good
tie
Samaritan
the
bill.
administration's hands behind
Yeah.
their back.
Well,
Yeah.
we got to untie it.
We've talked about a Good Samaritan bill as something that we'll be vetting this year. Get everybody to the table. It's going to be difficult. Because there are going to be people who are absolutely for it and people who are
There's so
absolutely
many
against
lawyers out there whose kids need straight teeth.
And you need RIDE to say expulsion's coming back.
Oh,
RIDE
that'll
is-
never happen as long as you got her in charge.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's true.
that has got to come back.
RIDE is a huge part of this.
You gotta get
RIDE
Gina
is
Stooge
a
out of
huge
there.
part of this.
Well, I don't know.
RIDE has a lot of power and a lot of say
Yeah.
about what goes on in the schools.
Which is
Yes.
too
which,
much.
without
Because they
without
have the
even
money.
having,
Yeah.
without the local and state jurisdictions
Having any say?
having any ability to do that except legislatively.
Now, that's gonna change.
It does.
They have
I've
way
been
too much
thinking that
power
for a
then.
very long time. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
Not likely
And
to,
I don't know-
because
and this-
unfortunately, the governor really, really likes this.
Well,
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah, they're
this lady,
besties.
All right, now back to
really
the.
likes her.
This is why it's not a community problem. I think the kids in the school are like, you know what? Hey, we just saw our 12 friends get a couple of weeks off vacation. I want a vacation too. Let's start fighting. And you
I don't
just,
think it's that simple.
No.
But-
No. I think it is.
There are really tiny, very few people who think like that, Joe.
That's why only 4 were arrested,
You know,
Dave,
kids-
out of 1,200.
Kids, think back when you were growing up. Kids
Yeah.
may not be practiced in thinking through the conclusions and the consequences of what they decide to do.
Well, I
They're
think
in the
they-
now.
I think they what 2
Right.
weeks off from.
They're in the now.
Yeah.
But then again, they are not really stupid. I could end up with a bloody nose after all of this.
Well, we'll
You
take
know,
it easy on each other. I don't know.
come
But,
on.
Or like this person, like, when you're a teenager, when you're a kid, you're in the now. You're like, so and so, looked at my girlfriend, or
I know,
like, I don't
looked
even
at-
know
looked
what
at her funny.
like that was what we like fought over or whatever. I don't even know what kids fight over now. I don't have children. I don't have the answers. Right?
Maybe you stole my
But-
cell phone. I don't know.
Right, like cell phone or whatever.
Well, I don't know. You just mentioned that maybe you're disqualified because you don't have children. I wouldn't buy that totally, Melissa, because you have a perspective that few people who are raising families can afford to have.
you.
And perspective ain't bad. It's another point of view. Because when you're in the midst of the battle raising a family, and I've done it and Joe's done it.
Yeah, it's personal. Right.
Then,
right.
you don't see it as pragmatically. You see what works and what doesn't work. You see that there's differences in all of your kids and the way they handle adversity and the way they approach different things, and you realize that no single simple solution is going to be effective.
Yeah. And I think also, like, when kids are, in that moment and they're like, well, you disrespected me or you called me this, and they're not thinking, oh, if I start a fight, maybe I can get a few weeks off. They're angry and they don't know how to channel that anger because maybe they were never taught.
That's right.
And then
All
they
right.
go
They-
at it, and then they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But
They-
then it's already too late.
Yeah, they're not really thinking
They're
of
not
the
thinking things
consequences
through,
in
for
a
sure.
planning way. They're not caring what the consequences are. They're going to do what they're going to do now because they want to do it now.
And some kids get caught in the peripheral, or they're not the main aggressors, and they,
That's true,
they
too.
have to bear the
Always
brunt of
been
the punishment
always
as
been
well.
that way.
Sure.
That's kind of what happened at the Blackstone Millville High School, where they found a threat graffiti in a bathroom. I think that's just kids saying, I don't want to take a test. And if I write this and someone sees it, oh, good, lockdown and everything stops, and I have to take
I
tests.
mean, there are
Guess
kids who'll do,
again,
like,
they're smarter than that. in
No, I don't
Blackstone.
know. I don't think so, Dave. I don't want to take. I used to have that in school where take a test. People would go to. Can I go to the bathroom? Okay. Next thing you know, there's a fire alarm going
they pull
off.
the fire alarm. Yeah.
Now we can exchange answers while we're outside. Not me. I didn't do this.
Sure.
This is what took place. Anyway. But when it says, "Oh, it's a community problem over at Woonsocket High School,"
I buy it.
and they say, "Oh, we got kids and the parents and well, Dave, what
they're
if,
saying is it's a cultural thing
Well,
in
what-
some cultures.
Dave, what if Paul Bourget comes here and say, "Dave, what's the answer? You're in the business community. You figure out the problem. Why do you have to figure this out? Why is this all now on your plate?"
Because those responsible for implementing the actions need input from the citizenry at all different walks of life and perspectives in order to make a judgment on what would work or should be tried.
Then you should call them. They shouldn't be coming to you. If you want to give your 2
Well,
cents,
what are you going to do if you're a leader and no one is coming to you with a solution that seems like it's viable? You're going to ask. If nobody's volunteering it, you're going to ask. Give us your input on this. That's a responsible leader's action.
And I
if
think
you're not
everybody
getting
should
it.
care. It is a community problem, and I care about it because this is my community, and I don't want to see kids, getting suspended,
yeah.
and I don't want to see kids getting, hurt by other kids. It affects the entire family. There's a ripple effect. Like this isn't good for the community. It's not good for the school. It's not good for anybody. Again, like I don't have the answers, but we need to all have probably some really hard conversations, and there needs to be seats at that table for all different types of folks.
All right, break time here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way, and we'll be talking with Leslie Page from the Woonsocket Harris Public
Leslie's
Library
here.
coming up very soon here on the Coffee and program.
First news and best variety of music. ON 1240.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and XD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
ON, AM, and FM.
Coffee In right here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray. And we're being joined by Leslie Page from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library, live and in the flesh. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
And it's time to find out what's going on at the library. Go ahead, Leslie.
Our hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We offer self-service photocopying and faxing, and our reference department provides notary services free of charge on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., 2 to 4 p.m., and 6 to 8 p.m., Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. and 2 to 4 p.m. This week, the Children's Department is offering Sensory Exploration Fun today at 10 a.m., Halloween cookie decorating also today at 4 p.m., baking soda painting on Tuesday, October 21st at 4 p.m., Music is Fun with Anne-Marie Forer, Wednesday, October 22nd at 11:30, Preschool Story Time also on Wednesday, October 22nd at 11 a.m., and Book Buddies, also on Wednesday, October 22nd at 4 p.m. For more information about all children's programs, please call 767-4122. This week, the Teen Department is offering a tabletop role-playing game on Tuesday, October 21st at 3 p.m., and Storytelling Through Theater on Thursday, October 23rd at 3 p.m. For more information on all teen programs, please call 767-4132. The next Tech Tuesday will be held on Tuesday, October 21st at 2 p.m. Learn how to access ebooks and audiobooks on your mobile devices and or learn email tips and tricks. Call 767-4124 to register. The next tabletop role-playing game for adults will be held on Saturday, November 1st from 1 to 3 p.m. Please call 767-4132 for more information. All of the latest information about programs, services we offer, and how to reach us can be found at our website, woonsocketlibrary.org, or on our Facebook page. If you have any questions or would like more information about anything I've mentioned today, please call us at 769-9044. And we look forward to seeing you at the library.
Thanks, Leslie. All right. We have another note called in, 766-1240, and we're going to go to a completely different topic here.
Something completely different.
Although we were talking violence, we'll keep it on the violence side. The ceasefire.
Not completely different, then.
The ceasefire in Israel and with Israel and Hamas.
Broke up, no time.
Ceasefire broken, no surprise. We must come to reality that we're dealing with lunatics who have no regard for human life, which is one of the reasons why they've had continuous wars for centuries. Well, I kind of agree with this.
I do too.
And Dave, you're the elder statesman here at the table, but I've heard it for 55 years, and you've probably heard it for longer. Since I was a child. And I've heard it from every politician. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. I don't think we're ever going to have peace in the Middle East until the sun explodes and the whole earth blows up.
See, and then you'll have peace in the Middle East.
We will have peace in the Middle East.
Or anywhere else. It's not just, right?
You mean the sun exploding some other place?
Maybe. There are many suns, I'm sure. But
I mean ours.
Ours specifically?
Ours specifically.
Hopefully not in my lifetime, but hey,
Hey, make lemonade, right? So, I mean, if it explodes, get out the hot dogs, get a long stick.
But just because we have a ceasefire does not mean these people stop hating these people.
Well, see, here's you asked for my elder statesman wisdom.
Well, only because you've heard it longer than me. We're going to have peace in the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've heard it longer
Before
than me.
that, I heard about peace in lots of other places.
Okay.
We did learn, as human beings, the answer to this, but it's not something that we can always embrace because of circumstances. The answer is this: as long as there's winners and losers, you're really not going to have peace. Oh, gosh, he sounds like a hippie. Where are the beads and the long hair? But seriously speaking, examine human history, and as long as there is winners and losers, the losing side will carry a grudge for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because Hamas...
There you go.
So do you believe Hamas believes they lost in this ceasefire?
It does. If Israel exists, Hamas has lost.
Okay. Well, all right. There you go.
All right.
vice
If
versa.
Hamas, right, vice versa. I was about to say. I was going to be more verbose, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So the point here is that the rest of the world came in at the end of World War II and says, okay, we've had it. There's political will amongst a majority of the countries here for us to say, okay, Israel gets a homeland because they really deserve some good luck after what happened during the Holocaust. And politically, they got together and said, okay, where do you want to have your home? Well, these are our ancestral homes here, but they belong to somebody else. Well, we'll all get together and tell them they have to give up at least part of their land in order for you to have a homeland because it's the right thing to do. There was a winner and there was a loser. Israel won. And then everyone else who lost is going to have the huts for Israel and don't want to see it exist. They want to turn back the clock from before that because something was taken away from them and they lost. They want their losses addressed by the international community. The international community isn't doing it. Israel has gotten stronger. They have very strong allies like the United States, and it just continues on. So if you want to hear about peace in the Middle East, there may be ceasefires,
but no peace.
Peace is elusive when you have winners and losers. I don't know. We have a very well-read member of the panel out there. I'll point over to our librarian, our chief librarian, who reads lots of stuff, perhaps even philosophy. And do you think I'm full of baloney here, Leslie?
No.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's it. You heard it. You heard it from Leslie. There you go.
No called in. Kind of what you're saying, Dave. The winner takes it all. The loser has to fall.
And so as long as there's someone losing, there's going to be a grudge.
Yeah.
Grudge plus time equals more discord.
All right. Moving on. Ready, Melissa?
Sure.
42-year-old woman from Plimpton, Massachusetts, which is near Plymouth, in case you didn't know, facing dozens of animal cruelty charges. The district attorney's office today investigators went and they seized 116 animals from her property. The MSPCA found dead animals and others living in inadequate shelters and lack of available food and water. The animals ranged cats, dogs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, rabbits, and goats.
Got to have the goats.
That's a... Well, can't the goats just eat the grass? Anyway.
No, actually, they like hay.
Okay. The authorities said upon examination, most of the animals showed clear signs of neglect.
Yeah, that is just tragic.
Yeah, I hate when stuff like that happens.
I hate these stories. I hate them so much.
And they happen so often.
And it gets to that point
there's
where...
so many of them, so many animals.
By the time there's intervention, that there's dead animals on the property.
Yeah.
There's emaciated animals. And now someone has to take the burden of rehabilitating, if that's possible, possibly euthanizing. Like, animal rescuers, they have a tough gig. That's
you
tough.
would think that you think you'd bury the dead animals.
Well, no, you got to call in the SPCA cameras first and take pictures of all these poor animals so they can go out and fundraise with it.
Did you mean the owner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on their property. It's a dead duck. It's not like you don't have to dig a huge hole.
It's like hoarding, right? It's that same
mentality.
That same disease or whatever it is that like people just let trash or filth accumulate. And I don't know how you don't take care of other sentient beings, but yeah.
Okay. Remember, I told you we gotta go to the gyms around Woonsocket and get these people that are working out early to go.
Yeah, I remember that comedic discord
to roam the halls of Woonsocket High to stop the fighting.
Yeah.
Well, what about this? A gym owner in Aspen, Colorado, says a pair of black bears broke into the business late Tuesday night. We'll get bears.
We gotta get bears.
I want to know what they can bench press.
Well, a lot. The fitness owner, Ajax fitness owner, David Mills, says surveillance video showed the Bears opening up the door. Of course, it was probably locked, so they probably ripped it open.
Yeah, they're quite strong. Right? So.
Once inside, the Bears went after protein shakes and protein mix.
Oh, jeez.
They're getting stronger.
They're just bulking up.
Colorado
For the winter.
Parks and Wildlife says the Bears are trying to consume as many calories as they can for the winter.
That's right.
No humans were inside at the time. Sometimes gyms are open 24 hours, but not this time. Maybe they don't open 24 hours.
Imagine you working out and just bears just like come in and
Depends on
start
the
eating
location.
protein shakes. And you're just like, what's happening?
Here, take my shake.
Yeah.
No humans inside at the time, and the Bears were not hurt. After they had their fill of protein powder and stuff, okay, time to leave.
Yeah.
Someone
No violence.
Last bear out, lock up on the way out, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I won't say it.
Well, the Broadway actors have settled their contract strife, but the musicians still are there without a contract. So there was talk last week of the show shutting down because the musicians don't have a contract. But still, things are still going on. But Broadway continues to face a possible strike as the contract between the musicians and the Broadway producers remains out of reach. Things were looking brighter on Saturday on word that a tentative settlement had been reached with actors, a deal which still needs to be ratified by the union members. But the New York Times reports there is still no agreement with musicians who've been working since the end of August on an expired contract. The paper says their union hopes to meet again with producers this week. The musicians are seeking improvements in pay and benefits. What a shock, huh? How much does it cost to go to a Broadway show now?
Hundreds.
It's got to be.
Well, you're not going to have a very good musical if you have
No
actors
musicians
with no
there.
musicians. So
Like if you're going to go see Hamilton, you're going to spend $300 to see to the show?
Somebody
Probably
put a big
more.
Probably
People
more.
do, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
somebody put a big
Easily.
Bluetooth on the proscenium of the stage and turn on their cell phone and play the soundtrack.
That's not going to be quite the same.
not quite
No, it
the
ain't,
same
but,
experience. Yeah.
A strike would be the first.
And then they'll be grieved.
a strike would be the first major walkout Broadway's had since 2007.
And how would that one work out for you?
Well, it's settled after a while, right?
Yeah.
All right. It was everything I wanted to have happen over the weekend with the Patriots. They did exactly what I wanted them to do. They won. Dolphins lost. Jets lost. Buffalo didn't play. We're all alone on top of the AFC East at 5-2. Things are great.
Lou Mandeville, in his sports report this morning, Joe, said something that I was surprised at, saying it was the first time they had 3 consecutive road victories in franchise
Ever.
history.
You know what? He must be right. I think they said that on the national broadcast too, and I was like, really? Even back during the great golden days of Tom Brady, we didn't win 3 games on the road in a row. Well, maybe we didn't. So this is great news.
And even if we did, who cares?
Well,
what are they
so-
going to
well-
do next week, right?
Well, they're at home, so they're not going to lose. They're not going to win on the road next week. They're going to win at home. Let's
See,
hope.
that's a problem then. You can't win. You can't turn it to 4 in a row if you don't go on the road.
But they've won 4 in a row and 3 on the road, so we keep going. Not only does human food get recalled, Melissa, pet foods get recalled.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Do
all
they?
The time.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
Well, how do they know? That just the animals get sick?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
That's how you know.
Manufacturers
And
are
then
duty
testing.
bound to report to government authorities when something goes wrong in their processing or packaging. And so when it does, then the government looks at it. Who could get hurt by this? And is there a significant chance of harm for us to alert the public? When they say yes, we get the note.
A Wisconsin-based company voluntarily recalling specific lots of freeze-dried pet treats sold under 4 brand names in 3 states due to possible salmonella contamination.
That ain't good for any kind of human or
Well, they shouldn't be
animal
eating it.
or anything, yeah.
Food Dynamics corrected and expanded a recall for certain lots of Raw Dog Bakery, Bell Pepper Cats, Canu Pets, and What's in the Bowl brand treats. The recall was initiated after routine sampling by the FDA found presence of the bacteria. The recalled products were shipped to retailers in Wisconsin, New York, and Florida, so nothing in the New England area, so that's good.
Good.
The company says a total of 8 packages were distributed to consumers, and so far no adverse health effects have been reported. So
That's
yay.
good. So it's the same manufacturer, 4 different brands, exact same product. I wonder what the price differences are.
I wonder.
That's the first thing that I thought of. I'm like, oh, okay. So whoever has the cutest packaging with the cutest little pet face on it is
That's the highest one. So,
Yeah.
Well, you
okay.
got to have any large concerns looking for something at various price points to
Yeah,
attract
yeah, but you're
different
getting the
audiences.
same thing.
Why do you think there's like Chevrolet and Buick.
Yeah,
and,
no, I know. It's just
and
weird to have
Cadillac,
that, like, in
and
pet.
They're all
pet
in the
foods.
same GM family.
And Brandy walked off stage on at a show in Chicago. She wasn't happy with the way the sound was, so she pulled the diva and said, "I'm not going to sing anymore."
And she left her partner out there to finish the show.
She left Monica. There's some kind of
Without
Brandy and Monica
without even telling
same
Monica
tour.
what the deal was.
Yeah, so they couldn't sing. They have a duet from 1998 called "The Boy Is Mine."
Yep.
They couldn't sing it because Brandy wasn't there. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Well, the last time I saw Hall & Oates together before
They started fighting
they
each other?
started fighting was at Xfinity Center, and I think it was like the first concert of the tour, and so the sound wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
But instead of getting up and walking off, Daryl Hall just kept like yelling
Get it right.
expletives.
Really?
Yeah. What the beep again, through the first half of the show, and then finally he's like, well, this is kind of halfway good. It was really bad. I never seen anything like it. So I think maybe he might be the problem, but I've always been an Oates fan. So.
No, the problem was their reliance on technological assistance.
Yeah, I was
when
just
I was
surprised
performing
at
on
the
stage,
string of expletives. So
you were in
okay.
different places. The acoustics were different. Your instrument sounded different. You couldn't hear the drummer, or you couldn't hear this or that. You went up and you did your part, and by the time you're done, as long as the audience heard it, you're cool.
Yeah.
But now they have to have the inner ear monitors, and you got to get that mix right so they can hear what they want to hear. Otherwise, because they got the stuff in their ears, and they can only hear what another sound mixer, then another sound mixer produces it for the public, for the speakers, and it's just crazy what they do. They don't have to do it. Performers perform for thousands of years without this kind of baloney, and all it does is increase the chances you're not going to give a good performance, in my view.
All right.
And now I have spoken.
Thanks. We got to run. We've gone way past 9 o'clock.
We have?
Yes, we have. So,
Oh,
because Kim Garneau's waiting to come in.
901.
Blessings and Good Health is coming up. So,
sorry, Kim.
Dave, thanks for coming in today.
You're entirely welcome. Sorry, Kim.
All right, and Melissa, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, and Leslie, thanks. Nice to have you back on a Monday.
Well, thank you.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Like I said, Kim Garneau, Blessings and Good Health is coming up right after the 9 o'clock news here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says he and Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet in Hungary in another attempt to end the war in Ukraine. Pablo Gutierrez reports Trump says the summit will happen in about 2 weeks.
President Donald Trump confirmed the Budapest talks after separate phone calls with Putin and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. The White House